Join me as I challenge myself to apply Stoic principles and say no in 3 tough situations this week, all while staying calm. You know, the Stoic philosophy has been around for centuries, and it's amazing to see how its principles can still help us navigate the chaos of modern life. One of the biggest areas where Stoicism can make a huge impact is in helping us manage stress and assertively say no. By applying Stoic principles, we can develop the confidence to set boundaries and prioritize our own needs, leading to a more peaceful and fulfilling life. Many of us struggle with saying no, whether it's to a friend, family member, or colleague. We are often afraid of disappointing others, fearing that they'll think less of us or that our relationships will suffer. We take on too much, thinking that we're being helpful, but in reality, we're spreading ourselves too thin and sacrificing our own well-being. This pressure to please others can lead to chronic stress, anxiety, and even burnout. We become trapped in a cycle of people-pleasing, constantly trying to meet everyone's expectations except our own. I think we've all been there at some point, feeling like we're drowning in commitments, with no idea how to escape. We've been conditioned to believe that saying yes is always the right thing to do. We are taught from a young age that being selfless and accommodating is a virtue, but what about our own needs? What about our own desires? When do we get to prioritize ourselves? The truth is, saying no is not only okay, but it's also necessary for our mental and emotional health. When we constantly say yes, we set ourselves up for disappointment and frustration. We're bound to let someone down eventually, whether it's ourselves or someone else. On the other hand, saying no can be incredibly liberating. It's an act of self-love, a declaration that our time and energy are valuable and limited. At the heart of Stoicism lies the concept of focusing on what we can control. We can't control how others react or what they think of us, but we can control our own actions and reactions. By setting boundaries and prioritizing our own needs, we're taking back control of our lives. The Stoics also emphasize the importance of living in accordance with nature, which means living in harmony with our own values and desires. One of the most powerful Stoic principles is the idea of setting boundaries. Boundaries are not about being selfish or mean. They're about being honest and clear about our limits. When we establish clear boundaries, we're able to conserve our energy and focus on what truly matters. For example, if someone asks you to take on a project at work that you know you can't handle, saying no is not only okay, but it's also necessary. It's about being honest about your capabilities and prioritizing your own workload. Another key Stoic principle is the concept of negative visualization, or the premeditation of evils. This might sound a bit morbid, but bear with me. Essentially, it's about imagining the worst-case scenario in any given situation. Let's say you're asked to speak in front of a large crowd, and you're terrified of public speaking. Instead of avoiding the thought or getting anxious, you immerse yourself in the scenario, imagining the worst possible outcome. This might sound counterintuitive, but it actually helps you prepare and build resilience. When you're faced with a difficult situation, try imagining the worst that could happen. This helps you build confidence in your ability to handle the outcome, no matter what it may be. It's about steeling yourself for the possibility of failure or rejection, rather than trying to avoid it at all costs. By doing so, you'll be more prepared to handle whatever comes your way, and you'll be less anxious in the process. Now, I want to share an example of how I applied this principle in my own life. Last week, I was asked to take on a new project that would require me to work long hours for several weeks. At first, I was tempted to say yes, fearing that I'd miss out on an opportunity or let my team down. But then I took a step back and imagined the worst-case scenario. I thought about how I'd feel if I said yes and later realized I couldn't handle the workload. I thought about the stress and anxiety that would come with it. By doing so, I was able to make a more informed decision, one that prioritized my own needs and well-being. I said no, and it was incredibly liberating. By applying Stoic principles, we can develop the confidence to say no and prioritize our own needs. We can focus on what we can control, set boundaries, and build resilience in the face of adversity. Remember, saying no is not about being selfish or mean, it's about being honest and clear about our limits. In wrapping up this video, I want to thank you for joining me on this exploration of Stoicism and the art of saying no. I hope you've gained some valuable insights and practical tips to help you navigate challenging situations. Don't forget to share your own experiences with saying no in the comments below, and check out my other videos on Stoicism for more inspiration and guidance. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next video.